Well, hello. We've got part 2 of statistics, which is going to be on variability and standard deviation. So if you guys have your notes with you, you can fill them out with me, or you can just kind of watch and work out some of the problems with me. So the first thing we'll do is we'll talk about what our goals are going to be out of this portion of the section. And our goal is that we want to be able to find measures of spread and standard deviation. Okay, so we're going to kind of review what we did in section 1, which was the box and whisker plots. So we've got 3 box and whisker plots kind of back to back. First question out of this: which movie do you think was targeted at teenagers? Well, if I would have to guess, I would say my educated guess would be film B would be targeted at teenagers. And that's because as I'm looking at this, the first half of all the people that watch this movie are between like 11, 12, and 18 years old. And so there's a good chunk of the people that are watching this are between 11 and younger 20s. And that would tell me this is targeted at teenagers. So I'm going to say film B. Part 2. Which movie do you think was targeted I think there's a word missing there. Which movie do you think was supposed to be targeted as a rated R action movie? Well, looking at this, I would have to say film C would be a rated R action movie. And my educated guess as to that one is because the majority of everybody who is watching film C is younger 20s and 30s. And that would kind of tell me that, it looks like the youngest person to watch it was 18 even, which would make them all adults. And so this would kind of tell me the rated R part, and action movies are usually for younger adults. So I'm going to say that would be film C. And then the last question: which movie do you think is the new romantic comedy that is perfect for a date night? Well, I'm going to go with film A, partially because it's the only one that hasn't been answered yet. But if I look at all the information for film A, you can see that it's spread out really far apart. So it's a movie that's kind of meant for a lot of different ages. And, it's not for younger, it's not for just older, it's for a lot of people. And that would kind of lead me to believe it's going to be a film that would be for many different people, which would be kind of a date movie. So there's A. Okay. Measures of spread. So this is basically like looking at a lot of the information in different ways. So it says, reviewing the box and whisker plots above of film A, B, and C, consider a few additional questions related to variability. So it says, which data set above has the largest range? Okay, well, I'm going to go back up and look at those. So the largest range. So range was how far it was from the smallest number to the biggest number. And I could go through and actually calculate it. This one goes from about 8 to about 65. And then that would tell me that's, upper 50s of range. And it's kind of hard to tell exactly what it is. But so if range stands for how far it is from the minimum to the maximum, we're looking for which one of these 3 box and whisker plots is the widest. And then that would be the largest range. So film A would have the largest range because it's the widest picture. The largest interquartile range. Okay, so interquartile range was how far it is from quartile 1 to quartile 3. And on a box and whisker plot, that would be the edges of the box. So these kind of all look awfully close to about the same size. So I'll try to actually calculate this one. So film A looks like it goes from about 34 to 48. And if that was the case, I have an inner quartile range of 14. Film B looks like it goes from about 14 to 30. And then that would tell me I have an inner quartile range of 16. And then film C goes from 22 18 and 24. All right. Which data set has the largest spread between the minimum and median? Okay, well, the minimum is right here. The median is the middle of the box. So we're trying to find which film is the farthest from the beginning to the middle. And then this one, just looking at the three choices, is clearly going to be film A because it's by far the farthest from the first person or the youngest person to watch to the middle age of the person that watched. So that one is clearly film A. Which data set has the largest spread between the median and the maximum? Okay, and then we're starting to get crowded again, so let me pick a different color. So between the median, which would be there's this circle, and the maximum, which would be the farthest right, I'm trying to find out which one of these three is the farthest apart between these two lines. And this one actually looks like it's definitely going to be B, because that one, this was the film targeted for teenagers. So this essentially meant that there weren't nearly as many older people watching it. So that one definitely has the farthest spread between the median and the maximum. Okay,